Yo, this is Lil RJ with the video that I promised, the question and answer show that I promised to do with my subscribers and viewers. You don't necessarily have to be my subscriber to participate, but I would love for you to subscribe anyway. And this is the first question that I received. All these questions are, majority is from the same user. One's asking me, first question is, what's your favorite WrestleMania? Well, my favorite WrestleMania is kind of a three-way tie for my favorite WrestleMania. Let me put it like that. My favorite WrestleMania, one of my favorite WrestleManias is WrestleMania 20. WrestleMania 20 is my favorite WrestleMania because that's when Chris Benoit won his first world title, his first and last, and John Cena won his first championship in the WWE. He gave that, John Cena gave that nice standing ovation to New York City, and I'm a New Yorker, if you can't tell by my accent. Christian was on the show. Him and Chris Jericho had a good feud and a good match on that show. It was Brock Lesnar's and Goldberg's last match in the WWE. Well, for now. Oh yeah, Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero had a good match with Kurt Angle on that show, and it was just WrestleMania 20. It was a good show, and and another thing I liked about that show is the little celebration Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit had. That was a great moment, and when I seen that moment, I was younger, I broke out crying, because and it hurts to think about that moment now because both of them are gone. And Viva la Raza, Eddie. I highlight that moment. That's in on the Undertaker return does his old person Noah, his old and current person Noah in the WWE, and that was good. Him and Kane had a good match too. Another one of my favorite WrestleManias was WrestleMania 21. It was the first Money in the Bank WrestleMania. Edge won that. I'm a big fan of Edge too, so I like that. John Cena won his first world title at WrestleMania 21 in a good match with JBL. Batista won his first world title there. I highlight Batista. I was a big fan of Batista, and I felt that was a long time coming too. So, Batista deserved that. And that's all the good moments I liked about WrestleMania 21. And WrestleMania 26. WrestleMania 26, believe it or not, it was a good WrestleMania. The highlights I liked about that was, Jack Swagger won the Money in the Bank. I'm not, I don't really care for Jack Swagger, but, I like his in-ring persona and his ring skills. They're good. And, I like that triple threat match between Randy Orton, Ted DiBiase, and Cody Rhodes. That was a pretty good match. People really didn't like it because Randy Orton won. But people, you gotta understand, what did you think was going to happen when Randy stepped in the ring with Ted DiBiase and Cody Rhodes? You think they were going to let Randy get embarrassed in front of WrestleMania? No. And to tell you the truth, I can't think of a match that Randy hasn't lost at WrestleMania. But Randy lost at WrestleMania 25, I do believe. Randy Orton has never really lost a match at WrestleMania except that one. Or in WrestleMania 20... Was it 22? It was 22. Besides that, besides those two WrestleManias, Randy Orton's never really lost a match at WrestleMania anyway, so, why stop him? Why start him have him losing WrestleMania matches anyway, so. Oh yeah, and one more WrestleMania. It's a classic WrestleMania 13. I like WrestleMania 13. A whole lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it. The WrestleMania, I do believe Big Boss Man and Undertaker had that Hell in a Cell match. I like that. When he got hung at the end, that was epic. AJ Christian was on top of the cage, and he got hanged. Boss Man got hanged at the end. But a whole lot of people didn't like that, so I did it anyway. Moving on to the next question. What's your favorite three Bound for Glories? Well, Bound for Glories. Bound for Glory last year was pretty epic. I like that one where Jeff Hardy turned heel at the end. Even though Jeff Hardy's heel turn was short-lived, I liked it. I liked Bound for Glory last year. I mean, every match had a purpose. Every match had a good story going into it. Just like the one this year every match got a good story going into it. So I like that one. Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory 2006 was good when Chris Sabin won the X Division Championship. Took that belt from Shinji. Oh yeah, 2005. I like that one. That Monster Balls match. That was a pretty good match. That Raven won, and he got his title match and at Jeff Jarrett, but he lost. So yeah, but I like those three Bound for Glories. Bound for Glory 2010, Bound for Glory 2006, and Bound for Glory 2005. I like those three Bound for Glories. What's your favorite TNA pay-per-view event of all time? What's my favorite TNA pay-per-views of all time? Well, Lockdown 2006. I like that one because Christian and Abyss had a good match. Well, Christian Cage rather. Christian Cage had a good match with Abyss in that cage and on that year. Sting's group and Planet Jarrett had a good match on that card, and I liked that Lockdown 2006. That was one of my favorites. What's my other favorite pay-per-view event? TNA. I'm thinking. Oh yeah. What you call it? I'm trying to think. Slammiversary, I do believe 2009, where they had Abyss and Taylor Wilde going up against Raven and Daphne, and a first ever mixed tag Monsters Ball match. Now that was epic. I like that. That was a good match. That was a good match, by the way. That was Slammiversary, I do believe 2009, and I like that match. And my other third favorite pay-per-view events from TNA is trying to think here. I usually have them on top of my head, but I can't think right now. No Surrender 2009, I do believe, when AJ Styles won the title. I talked about it in one of my other videos. I do believe it was my Bound for Glory predictions. My Bound for Glory predictions. When I said Crimson Joe, Samoa Joe, Matt Morgan might put some more Crimson over and beat Joe up bad and leave Crimson to pin him. Sting, what I meant by when I said that, when I compared it to Sting and AJ Styles, was AJ Styles won the TNA title that night. It was a 5-way match. It was Hernandez, Sting, AJ Styles, and Kurt Angle, and Matt Morgan, I do believe, for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And Sting took out Hernandez, Matt Morgan, and he took out Sting, Hernandez, and Matt Morgan. And he turned around and winked his eye at AJ and shook his head, and he was like, "Do it, do it." AJ got on top rope and hit the Superman splash on Kurt Angle won the title. I like that. And the crowd, came over the security, what you call it? Security gate, or what you call it? Security wall. Yeah, they call it security wall. They started celebrating with him. That's one thing I like about TNA too. They can jump over the guardrail or whatever you want to call it, and celebrate with their favorite wrestler or whatever. And that's my 3 favorite pay-per-view events from TNA. Lockdown 2006, Slammiversary 2009, and No Surrender 2009. Wow. Question number 3. Who's my favorite wrestler? Well, Lil Daisy XXX. And I'll tell you one thing. I have a whole lot of genres of wrestlers. Well, let me start off with the greatest wrestler of all time. To me, is a 3-way tie between The Rock, Eddie Guerrero, and Chris Benoit. And I like The Rock's mic work. The Rock was just good. The Rock is just The Rock. Okay? The Rock is everywhere. The Rock's in movies, and The Rock always acts like The Rock. That's one thing I like about The Rock. Eddie Guerrero, I love the Latin spice he put in the ring. The whole Latin culture, he had me loving, stuff, like, Rey Mysterio, Sin Cara, Homicide Hernandez and TNA, Conan, LAX, he made me like all that, besides the fact that Homicide was from New York. But, he made me like all that. And, Hector Guerrero, I pay my respect to Hector Guerrero. I'm a big fan of his, too. And Chris Benoit was an amazing wrestler. Chris Benoit could have definitely won more world titles. Him and Eddie Guerrero could have both won more titles than they did in their time. But, unfortunately that time is up. But, well, not that time is up, but, they're gone now, so, they can't. Anyway, those guys are my favorite 3 wrestlers of all time. My favorite 3 wrestlers from WWE right now. CM Punk, no doubt, man. I love this guy's in-ring work. He's agile. He brings a unique technique to the ring, and I love it. Believe it or not, I like Alex Riley. Alex Riley, I like the way, he wrestles. Alex Riley wrestles in a good style, I like him. I like, his mic work is not there yet, but his in-ring technique and, his chemistry with the crowd is crazy. So, you got no choice but to respect him and like him. Believe it or not, too, Ted DiBiase. I like the way this guy wrestles. I love his father. His father. If you give me a more descriptive, bigger number on that question, he would have been on that list too. I like Ted DiBiase too. A whole lot of people don't give this guy much faith. I read comments everywhere. Ted DiBiase sucks and all that. But Ted DiBiase's good. I like the way he reminds me of Randy Orton. Let me just say that. But say we're all not the temper and not the punt and all that stuff. He wrestles like Randy Orton, if you ask me. They have similarities in the ring. They have a similar physique and similar moves. So I like Ted DiBiase too. TNA, hands down, all members of Fortune. All members of Fortune. AJ Styles, he's phenomenal. He lives up to his name, Phenomenal One. And Bear Money, I love those 2. James Storm and Robert Roode, they did a good job together. And I do believe when Robert Roode wins that TNA World Heavyweight Champion, he'll make a good TNA World Champion. And unfortunately, I don't have any more questions, so keep inboxing me questions. I'm doing this show every week. Depends on how good this show goes. I might do it twice a week. I might do it on Mondays and I might do it on Saturdays. Just depends. Keep on subscribing to all my little RJ maniacs out there. Ta-ta for now.